Good morning, everyone.
It's me, your boy.
Welcome back to another live trading video. Before we get started with the charts, let's take a look at what happened with news. Okay, so we just had retail sales and it's just updated on our site, and look at what it's done to the US dollar. It was sitting at a positive rating beforehand. Now it's sitting at a -7. Everything else is pretty much unchanged. Now we do have a unique week in store. Again, here's a group summary off of everything that I just mentioned. But this week is a unique one, and given that we have NFP, which is tomorrow, it's a little bit delayed. It was supposed to be last week, but talks about the mini government shutdown. Now it's all caught up, but there's not another government shutdown, is what caused it to be a little bit delayed. And then on the Friday, we have a rare Friday CPI day. So NFP and CPI on the same week, there's going to be a lot of volatility within the US dollar. I have updated all the stuff right here on my own. So it shows the ForexFundys score, the latest COT, which you all have access to. Just Google it. And the quadrant positioning, you guys don't have access to that. You don't have access to this, but it's all good. It is what it is. The one currency showing full strength on every single one of these metrics is the Australian dollar. It is the only one showing full strength off of all of the metrics that we use. So if I was to look for longs on the Australian dollar, I'd like it to be around this region. There is a multiple year high at 71,600 that we could reach with all this Aussie strength right now. But China does have their CPI later today, which could shift things. Why am I not getting involved in the move now? This is not great price action. Plus, we have equal lows over here. You want to buy from a discount, and the discount would be around this region. New Zealand dollar is obviously weaker on the higher time frame, and in general, I would like to see something like this along these lines for the move down, or if I was looking for the longs, probably within this leg or below. One of my top pairs to look at for the day is the Great Britain pound. So just look for a sweep of the previous day high and a reversal to bring it down for a potential long opportunity. The Great Britain pound is the only one that showed up in our ForexFundys quadrant as showing a little bit of weak bearish trend. As for the euro, this is where we're looking for. The only suspicious thing is that we've already taken both London and Asia low. Usually I don't like shorting when those lows have already been taken. Moving on to some of the CAD pairs, I was looking at possibly taking a continuation trade down. I forward tested this trade here yesterday, but I was just missing the trap. I need a trap move on the Mondays for GBP CAD. I was looking for a sweep of this high before taking it lower. It looks like price isn't cooperating with what I want to happen, and that's forex trading sometimes. NZD CAD, it's coming down a little bit soft so far. I would love a sweep of this high, these equal highs right here. And then we have a fair value gap here, which we could see price react from, but it's most likely not going to happen today. And here's what JPY basket's looking like. I will only probably be interested in this if we sweep this high and then we head lower. The yen is showing very low ratings off of our system. However, they just had an election, so it's something that I have to be a little bit weary of. I don't like trading elections, even though the election just happened 2 days ago. If I was to get in a trade, I'd probably look at getting into a trade where we sweep this, break down very aggressively. It's got to look good on the M15 as well, and then shoot for the low. On the highest time frame, we have exact equal lows pretty much, which are always a great target. Alright, so according to the ForexFundys quadrant and all the stuff that we've mentioned earlier, GBP is the only one that has the weak bearish trend, right? Look at all the other currencies. Aussie's shooting up, so is NZD, and so is the euro. So we'll see what happens today. Hope we get the little push down required to push price up further. Because remember, trading and liquidity is like Pac-Man. You gotta nom this to head down, to head back up. So I'm just gonna have my eyes on the USD pairs, but we'll keep an eye on what's happening here on the JPY pairs. Okay, so we just got the alert on EURUSD hitting the high. The euro to me is looking like the strongest currency on the day, probably going to be the least likely. And like I said, we already have the negative of sweeping the London low and the Asia low as well. Saving catalyst on the US dollar would be if NFP tomorrow comes out with good news, with good numbers, good unemployment rate, and CPI on Friday comes out good for the dollar as well. Like I said, NZD CAD has been the sus pair of the week, just given that where it is false longs were possible. That means it went up last week, and that could have been a false move. Open interest on that pair has been dropping. I just don't want to short with those equals above right here. Off of the M3, we could be having our first false move down on NZDUSD, which I wanted it to sweep the previous weekly high, which would be this zone right here. This is not a fundamentals move. I don't expect the US dollar to be strong, like overall. Like I said, I do expect it, however, to retrace into discount prices before the longs continue, given the news that we've received. You see, GBPUSD just swept it, but I want a previous daily high taken, just to be on the safer side. Okay, price right here is in a range on Australian dollar. Look at that. Equal highs, equal lows. We're not touching that. New Zealand has not taken the high I wanted yet. Euro is kind of coming down a little bit. That's decent price action, to be fair with you. Again, the negative on this trade would be that, like if you took it, would be that you're already taking the initial targets, the London low and the Asia low. If we were to get a false move down on NZD, this would be it. And then we get to sweep the weekly high. Again, I think that the NZD is the most sus pair of the week. And if GBPUSD swept the high, this would be an interesting trade right here. That's a beautiful fair value gap. We just closed right below here as well on the M5. M3 looks nice. M15 looks good. Like I mentioned, I believe that this was the false move on NZD. We broke below here. It's so close to sweeping the high that I wanted. I'd rather just wait. GBP is looking like the weakest pair as of right now. Probably some people wondering, how do I look at so many pairs at once? Just set your alerts on the pairs that you want to be swept. If they're not swept, who cares? And then set alerts on the breaks. Doesn't take much. I treat JPY as one pair overall, and then I choose whichever one on this list, whichever one on here looks the best. GBP, like I said earlier, was beautiful price action within the intraday. So we had our false move, our sweep of the false move, nice breakdown on the M3, M5, really nice price action here. However, what kept me out of this trade? So, previous daily high was right here. We literally about 3.5 pips away. Typically, you'd want this to be swept because I'm seeing all this as buy side liquidity. And what is this previous daily high number here? 137.005. If you're a big bank, do you want to get into a sell at 136.964? Or do you want to sweep that and maybe getting around the 137 big figure? Being 3.5 pips away, I'm completely fine with not taking that trade. Like I said, beautiful price action after the sweep of Asia, but more often than not, this might not work out when you still leave this buy side liquidity. And very similar with NZD. Okay, you've swept the previous daily high, but you're also 1.8 pips away from the previous weekly high. Best to have that all cleared and then have a clear run to the downside. I feel like something's happening right now with this little price action. I feel like something was probably said, or this is just 1050 reversing price to the upside here after finally mitigating this region on the euro and other currencies as well. AUD NZD a little bit strong on the day. GBP USD, you will probably hit take profit by now. Euro CAD, king of the continuation today. GBP CAD, there's too many equals here, but this could have been a decent trade had it swept those equals. Once again, GBP was the only one with the weak bearish trend on the bottom right of the quadrant, as shown right here. So this is usually indicative of a bearish trend. This right here is indicative of pairs that got weaker last week, but it may have been a false move. And this is indicative of pairs that got stronger last week, but again, could have been a false move. And Irwin's right here, strong. So the cause of the move was Mr. Epstein's Island talking about the dollar being manipulated higher over many years and talking about GDP growth at 1050 goated time, obviously. So that's what caused that little bit of a move over here. As you can see, 2 minutes until my session's over, but I'm not seeing anything. I'm just calling it. So I hope that this was even though I didn't take any trades here, yes, you could argue I could have taken the GU trade, but there's 2 reasons I'm allowed to get into trade as long as I have one negative, but being that we had all that buy side liquidity above and that we are at big figures right above as well, I'm completely fine with not taking that. To anyone trading to this week, once again, we have CPI tomorrow and NFP on Friday, so be careful, wait and trade after news. Trading before news is a gamble. You could blow an account. Don't listen to whatever these influencers are showing you and passing challenges quickly. Here's a hint, they get free challenges. The more you fail a challenge, the more they get paid with an affiliate link. It's been your boy. Peace.